Hey everybody, let's get down with our bad selves. Let's do that. Let's get down. Let's get down. Or now get back up. You've gotten down, now get back up. That's what you need to do. Woo, woo, shoo, woo. Citizens arrest. Citizens arrest on all of y'all. Hey, have a citizens arrest. How you doing, folks? It's time for Fiddle for Duffers, the Tuesday morning torture session, as I like to call it. And I'm going to put you through your paces today. You know, last week we ended up in the key of D playing a little bit of Soldier's Joy. Remember that? Seems so long ago. But let's try a little bit of that. But first, let's get warmed up. Remember, what were all these different scales we were doing in D? Remember those scales? Let's just do them. We'll just do them just on the D and A string so we get through them. But you know you got to go on up on the E and you got to go on down on the G, right? Don't shortchange yourself. So if we play this scale here, let's just play this guy right here. 2 beats, regular D scale from here to here. Here from D here to D here on the A string. Here we go. Ready, play. Something moved on me. They glued it tuned at the factory, but it moved on me since then. So hey, we got a few little chat going on here. Let's see what we got to say about the Hundred Pipers. Was the first tune I ever learned and the first and only one I ever led at a jam. I have come full circle. Ha! Well, it's a good little jig. That's the one we're going to work on today in A. But let's get through these scales in D, shall we first? So now, remember the one I call 2 steps forward and 1 step back that goes... Here we go. So it's going to be D to F sharp, then back 1 and up 2. Ready? Yeah, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Now, you know, you might have seen this right at the beginning of the program. You're watching patron-only content. Well, what that means is there are a number of people in this chat line I know, and the people who aren't chatting, who are patrons at patreon.com/Charlie Walden. Cost $4 a month. 92 cents a week if you work it out. I did the math. Mike, Wichita, check the math. That's right. So what you got to do is go there and sign up, and because what's going to happen here in a few minutes, you're going to enjoy this, and if you try to watch it in the archive, it's going to end very shortly. So at some point in the future, after we start into what I call the repertoire phase of these lessons, they'll be patron only, no more when we're out of the Duffer mode. So that's not going to be but a few weeks away. So you might want to go to patreon.com/Charlie Walden. Check that out. It's only 92 cents a week for a fiddle lesson. Can you believe that? All right, so here we go. Let's go back again. Well, thanks, John Williams, for that endorsement, buddy. All right, so then we were doing one more scale. We taught you a new scale last time. It was to go up. It was basically, so it's up 3, 1, 2, 3, back to that one you started on. So 1, 2, 3, 1, and then up 1 note. Now, so I started on D. I'd be on E now. And then back down, it'd be the same thing, only in reverse. So 3 down and then back up to that one. these scales and arpeggios are so important, folks, because these little nuggets, those little chunks of those are in all these tunes. You start playing a lot of waltzes, you'll find that thing that I just did there is in a lot of waltzes. Pieces somewhere, chunks of it, and scale passages. And then finally, you know, our old friend, the old arpeggio. So don't forget those. I'm not going to belabor those, practicing those too much today. We did a lot with them last week because I'm going to show you a key of A, and there'll be a bunch of that. So let's go over to our Soldier's Joy. Now, if you don't have the dots, I attached them to the post at patreon.com/Charlie Walden. You can also get, I don't think I've posted these yet, to charliewalden.com/dots. They're there too. And if you're a patron, you know you get all the dots you want for free. So, incluido, as they say down south. All right, so let's play a little bit of this Soldier's Joy. I'm going to play it just like I got it on the page here so I don't mess anybody up. Later on down the line when we're doing our repertoire and you all are past the Duffer stage, I'll show you the finer points of Soldier's Joy. But for now, this will get you by. You can play this at any jam session. Here it goes. It sounds like this. And then the second part goes like this. So there is a repeating passage in there. Let's play the last two bars of the first part and the second part are the same. Let's work on those just a little bit. So if we start here on this F sharp, find that on the E string. Hey, those are D arpeggio notes, aren't they? And then, so it's F, A, F, F sharp by the way, F sharp, A, F sharp, D, E, G, E, C sharp, and then 3 Ds. And then so to lead into that, let's play an E. Really slow now. Now, are you paying attention to keeping your bow going in a straight line? Trying to keep the hair relatively flat on the string, you know, so you're not leaning over like this. And to pull those notes. Pull those notes, you know. Pull a fast, long bow, I like to say. Pull a lot of bow on each note, and the note will go boom, pop right out of your fiddle. If you don't want to be tentative or timid, make it boom, make that note just pop right out. Okay, let's start back at the beginning of this thing. And we got the pickup notes, remember? We did this slow last time, but I'll do it again. Let's play through it. Oh, you know what? Sorry to say, but if you're watching this as a archive video, your lesson's over. So go to patreon.com/Charlie Walden and see the whole lesson and many, many more. But for right now, stick with me because you're watching the live stream and you're good to go. All right? Here we go. So, remember that nice little lick I showed you? Now you can play that, you can bow that a lot of different ways, but that figure down on a string above and 3 below figures into a lot of fiddle tunes. So let's just get that down. So we're going to pull the A and then push those other 3. Here we go. Really slow now. Ready, play. Second part, remember? By the way, let me know if you're having trouble finding the stuff for Duffers. There's a link at the bottom of the index page on my Patreon site, and it says Stuff for Duffers. That'll send you to a Google Drive folder. I think most people have been able to find it. If you have any trouble, just message me through the app or through the website, and I'll be happy to direct you how to get to that. Because it's got some music, it's got audio files, and I'll be putting up an audio file of 100 Pipers either later this evening or first thing tomorrow morning. And the music is already there, I think. I know the music's attached to the post for today's session, but I'll put it in that folder as well when we get done here. Okay, so let's play through that Soldier's Joy without any stopping, digression, or anything on my part, otherwise known as BS. I will play through it slowly, a couple times through, the whole thing. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. I believe if you go back and watch the lesson right before this, I did the close-up finger view, so if you have any trouble figuring out what all the notes are, and I did it for pretty much phrase by phrase. But be sure to shoot me a message on the Patreon site. If you're having any difficulty, I'll be glad to coach you a little bit, whatever you need. So, all right, so let's move on. You know, that's D. What did we play in D? We played Spanish two-step. We played the waltz. What was that waltz? Peekaboo Waltz. There was something else we played. I can't recall now. And then this Soldier's Joy. So we've got 3 tunes going there. So now we're going to do something a little different, something new. We're going to move over to A, of course. But we're going to play a jig. This is our first tune in 6/8 time. So, and as Kim says, it's a really popular, it's a great beginner's jig, actually. If you're not used to playing jigs, or you're a duffer, as we all are here watching this, it's not a hard tune to play, and but you got to get onto that kind of jig time with your bow, you know, and that's what we'll concentrate on. But first, since we're moving into a new key, let's figure out what the big notes are. Okay, so the big notes are the arpeggio, right? And in A, that's always the first, third, and fifth scale degrees. If you learn nothing else from me over the past 8 weeks, the arpeggio is the first, third, and fifth scale degrees, or the first, third, and fifth notes of the scale. So A has 3 sharps: A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Now we got to play a G sharp. Okay, well what that C sharp and G sharp do to us is it requires us to go and use another of our finger patterns. Remember, we had this finger pattern, which we all love so much. That one right there. We had this finger pattern, which we all love so much. And now we're going to use this guy. On the G and D string, we use this finger pattern. Now, just because I've got the pinky here, we don't have to finger with that fourth finger. That can be the next open string above. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if I'm playing A, so I start on A here. So, let me just back up a little bit. A major scale is whole, 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 half, right? In other words, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Sorry, whole, half, whole, half. So it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. So we got to have a whole step on the first two. So it's whole step to B, whole step to C sharp, then D half step or open D. Now to this E, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step to the A. Okay, so let's play that A scale on the G and D strings. Let's play it together here. Now, so every time your third finger is going to be that reached note, that note you have to stretch for. So it's no longer going to be this. It's going to be. Okay, here we go. A, B, whole step again. Reach out with that third finger. C sharp, open D, E on the D string, F sharp, reach, whole step. That's two whole steps. Third whole step to the G sharp. Play that G sharp. Now the open A. Okay, now, so let us play. Now we'll play on the A and E string. Now on the A and E string, we're back to this finger pattern, right? It's just like, in fact, it's just like we were playing that D scale we were doing earlier, when we moved it up a string. So now we're starting on A, and it's like this. Okay, so here we go. A, C sharp, D, open E, F sharp. Now G sharp, not G, not that note, we want this, no. A, and then pinky finger. So start here in this B with the pinky. C, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. Now G sharp. Find it. F sharp. E. Now open D. C sharp. B. Now we can't play the open G because that doesn't go with the chord, so we'll just stop right there. All right, so that's the scale. Next time, I don't want to run out of time showing you the tune. If we get to the end and if I've messed with the tune enough, I think we will. I'll show you the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, the up 3 back, and so forth. Those other 2 scales we've been working on. Let's do the arpeggio though before we go any further. So on the A and E, it's just like remember this D arpeggio? Move it over 1 string. That's the real beauty of the violin and the fiddle and the mandolin both, being their tuned in fifths. Anything you do on 1 string, you can move over and do on the next 2 strings. It'll be in a different key, but the fingering will be exactly the same. Unlike the dreaded starvation box where you have that nasty B string that messes everything up. Okay, so let's try this. Open A. C sharp. Open E. A on the E string. 3rd finger, right? Open E. C sharp. Open A. Now we want to come down and hit this E. on the D string. Now the C sharp on the G string. Now the A. So it should sound like this when you're all done. So work on that. Work on that. You know, last time we talked about putting the little flags on your fiddle bow. Did you have time to do that? You know, you put one, you divide it into 3 sections, relatively equal. You put a little mark here. Or you can use a piece of electrician's tape. Anything that won't damage the finish on your bow. Or if you got one of those, you know, fiberglass bows, it doesn't much matter. Just put a piece of tape on there. But so, and then you play everything you play, all the scales, arpeggios, and tunes. Try to play them in each section. Might not be very good at first, but this will give you practice with playing the whole bow. And remember, the other thing we did was playing the scales in one direction like this, remember? But we're stopping between each note, so and you know, the idea behind that is don't pick the bow up. Just stop the bow dead in its tracks. And you don't want to have any jiggle back, you know. You don't want it to sound like. Because at first it will. It'll be a little ghost note, you know, ghosty sound. So you want to stop it dead in its tracks without picking it up. Leave the bow on the string. So that's the other thing we've been practicing. So dividing the bow and that little the scale all in one direction. Okay, so keep working on that. All right, let's see here. Where do we go from here? Well, we go to the new tune. We go to the new tune. Okay, you know, it doesn't get much more Scottish sounding than that, does it? So that's the 100 Pipers. And like I said in the note to today's video, nothing scarier to me than 100 Pipers all in one place trying to play, but that's okay. But I thought I wouldn't be able to be interested in 11 accordions playing together until I went to Shetland, and it was quite fantastic. But so let's play the 100 Pipers Jig in the key of A. And you know what? I don't think there's a single note here that's not on the no, there's a couple notes on the D string. I was about ready to tell you a lie, but there are a few notes on the D string. But I don't think you have to play the stretched G anywhere. No, you don't, or the stretched C sharp. So it's a good starter tune. That's why I picked it. It's not a difficult tune to play, and it's an easy way to, if you're not used to playing jigs, to get interested in playing this 6/8 time music. Now, how do you differentiate a jig from a reel? Well, the Irish have a way. If it sounds like this, Flanagan, 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 it's a jig. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, a reel is Murphy, 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 Murphy. So that's how you tell the difference right there. But you know, if you want to play jigs, if you want to play for a contra dance especially, the jig is the best tune to play because the rhythm is irresistible. I'm telling you, you could play this in a room, play a tune like this in a room with people with 2 left feet, and they'd find the beat. The beat of a jig is unmistakable and irresistible. So it's nice to play a lot of tunes in 6/8 time. I love them. Okay, so with that, that's my sales pitch for 6/8 time. So the first little thing we got here, I'm gonna play through it once kind of slow, and then I'll give you the finger view. Okay? Okay, so let me give you the close-up here. Let's do a few phrases, shall we? Do a few phrases, yeah. So, first thing we got is we got open A. That's the pickup notes. Little scale-wise, A, B, C sharp. Then down to the E on the D string. Okay, then find the F sharp on the E string. Okay, it repeats a lot there, so that's good for us. That we always like that. Okay, so now let us scope something out here, bow-wise. Okay, so you got to be able to play this. You know, something happens with the music in a jig. You know, since it's groups of 3 notes, it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's an accent, bump, 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 bump. It's almost like a double waltz, if you could say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. So the accent is on 1 and 4. The punch is on 1 and 4. So your bow needs to reflect that. So every time you come to a note that's on 1 on that punch, that's what we're looking for. That's what makes it sound like a jig. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on to the second part. Okay, the second part, pretty much all of everything except down to the end is happening on the A and E string. So you just take your wire cutters and cut the 2 strings off. No, don't do that. So all you need is the A and E here. So you've got 2 of those quick pickup notes. So it's C sharp, D, E. So now you're using a lot of arpeggio notes. Those are all A arpeggio notes. One more time. Okay, that part was start here in this F sharp. Here's what you got so far. Okay, you're going to repeat then. Let's see what I got here. I'm managing Pat's Instacart order here too. Oh no, everything's good. Everything's good. All right, so okay, then you're going to repeat that. Then the same ending as we did before. Well, I might play through it slow, both parts, one time through, and with the close-up. Here we go. Let me get turned a little bit better here. Here we go. Okay, so now the second part. Start on this C sharp. Folks, I ran over. My gosh, I'm out of time. I'm completely out of time. Thanks so much for coming today. Appreciate having you. We'll see you next Tuesday. Same time, same place for Fiddle for Duffers. Take it easy now. Catch you on the flip side.